Good morning, children. Today we are starting the new chapter, physical and chemical changes. So let's start. According to the name of this chapter, physical and chemical changes means change occur. So in our life means in our daily routine, we can see different types of changes occur, such as evaporation of water, means liquid water change into the vapor form in the gaseous form, liquid water change into the ice form, or ice change into the liquid water form, burning of paper, burning of fossil fuels, magnetization of iron, curd from milk, digestion process. So these are the changes, stretching of rubber, glowing of bulb. So different changes occur in our life. So here there are two types of changes, physical change and chemical change. So first of all we will discuss about the physical change. So here physical change, so these are the properties of the physical change. First, temporary or reversible change. Second, no new substance is found. Third, no change in composition. Fourth, physical properties may or may not be changed. Fifth, no significant change in mass. So these are the properties of the physical change. And here many examples of the physical change, that we can say change of state of matter, means if you consider the water, so water, solid water means ice form of the water change into the liquid form of the water, liquid form of the water change into the gaseous form of the water, gaseous form of the water again change into the liquid form of the water by the condensation process, and liquid form of the water change into the ice form of the water by the freezing, by the solidification. So here change of state of matter, we can say physical change, magnetization of iron, this is the second example, stretching of band, third example, ringing of bell, then glowing of bulb, and after this breaking of chalk. So these are the examples, and mixing of sugar or salt in water. So these are the examples of the physical change. Tearing of paper. So these are the examples of the physical change. So here, how can we justify that the change is physical or chemical? So we will compare by these properties. If these properties exist, so easily we can say this change is the physical change. So here one by one, suppose that if you take the change of state of matter. First example, here change of state of matter means if you consider the water here, so change of state of water. So from solid to liquid, liquid to gas, from gas to liquid, liquid to solid. So here if you compare by the first temporary or reversible change, so here this exists because here this is reversible or temporary, means from solid to liquid, liquid to solid we can change, means reversible. From solid to liquid, liquid to gas, gas to liquid, liquid to solid, means temporary change or reversible change. So we can say here this is the physical change. Second, if you compare, no new substance is formed, no any new substance is formed, substance remains same here. So in the solid state of the water, liquid state of the water, gaseous state of the water, no any change in the substance. Substance remains same in all the three states of the water. Means in all the three states of the water, only water molecules are present. And we know that here water formula H2O. So in the solid state, in the liquid state, in the gaseous state of the water, only water molecules are present. So here no any new substance formed here. No change in composition, no any change in composition, means in all the three states of the water that we can see here in all the three states only water molecules are present and water formula we are knowing that H2O. So no any change in compositions. Composition remains same. And if no any change in composition means also no any change in the mass. Also no any change in the mass. So if you take the 10 gram of the water, liquid water, and this change into the ice form, so here also the mass will be same, 10 gram. And if you are changing the liquid water into the gaseous water, so here also mass will be same, 10 gram. Means no any change in the mass of the substance if we change from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Physical properties may or may not be changed. So here physical properties means same shape, size, color. So these may or may not be changed. So here if you consider the water example in changing their states, so here we can see the shape change. If you take the ice form of the water, so ice has the particular shape, size. These things are perfect here, means definite. But if you take the liquid state or gaseous state of the water, so here these state having no any shape, size. So in the previous chapter I explained that liquid state, gaseous state acquire the shape of the utensil. Means in the if you say gaseous state acquire the full volume of the utensil in which the gas is stored, and liquid acquire the volume according to the volume of the container according to the volume of the liquid. So here solid water means ice form of the water has the particular shape, size. So here physical properties may or may not be changed. Next, no significant change in mass. So here no significant change in mass means here the mass amount change but very very less. So we will not consider as change. So here no significant change in mass. This is the reason here no significant change in mass. We will not consider as change. Mass change, very very less change in mass. So this is the reason here we will not consider, and we can say no significant change in mass. For example, if you change the solid form, means suppose that water you are taking, solid water means ice form of the water, if you change the solid ice, means ice form of the water, solid water into the liquid water, so we will heat this. So by giving the heat energy, the solid form of the water this change into the liquid form of the water, and again giving the heat energy, the liquid water change into the gaseous form of the water. So why this happened? In the previous chapter you have studied that the molecules absorb kinetic energy, absorb the energy, and due to this these particles means move more faster than previous, and due to this here the interparticle force of attraction decreases and interparticle force of attraction increases. So that's why the solid change to liquid, liquid to gaseous state. And here due to increase in interparticle spaces here increases from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. In these interparticle spaces the energy is stored. In these interparticle spaces the energy is stored. So here change in energy, change in no significant change in energy. Sorry, here again mass. No significant change in energy. No significant change in energy. So in this way, if we change solid to liquid, liquid to gas, so interparticle spaces increases, and these interparticle means in these interparticle spaces energy is stored. So here we can say no means here change in energy, change in energy. And if we change the gaseous form of the water into the liquid form, and from liquid form of the water into the solid form of the water, so in this way here force of attraction increases and interparticle force of attraction increases and interparticle spaces decreases. So in this way from gas to liquid the energy release, and from liquid if we again cool this, means if we cool, if we here decrease the temperature, so gas change to liquid, liquid to solid. So in this way if we cool the gaseous state, so here the particles interact with each other, and in this interparticle force of attraction increases and interparticle spaces decreases, and from changing from gas to liquid the energy release, and from liquid to solid here also the energy releases because space decreases. So in this way here we can say energy change, but the amount of energy very very less. So this is the reason no significant change in energy in the physical change. So here if we change once again here, if we change the solid to liquid, liquid to gas, so here interparticle spaces increases. In these interparticle spaces energy is stored. So we can say change in energy. And if we change the gas to liquid, liquid to solid, so here interparticle spaces decreases. So in this way energy release. So here from solid to liquid, liquid to gas energy absorbed, and from gas to liquid, liquid to solid energy release. So here change in energy, but amount of energy very very less. So here no significant change in energy. And after this many examples of the stretching of the rubber, here also we can see stretching of the rubber. So here if we stretch, so rubber will be stretched, and if we leave this, then this will come back in its original position. So here we can say temporary or reversible change, no new substance is formed, means rubber composition means this same, no any change in that, no change in composition from starting and final, that no any change in the composition. Physical properties may or may not be changed. So here physical properties change means if you stretch the rubber, so here the shape change. No significant change in energy means these properties here exist. And in the same way, breaking of the chalk. So this is also the example of the physical change, breaking of chalk. So here, breaking of the chalk, temporary or reversible change. So here in this you may confuse here temporary or reversible, because if you break the chalk, so this will not come back in their original position. So because here many forces responsible for that, but here if you compare, means from these properties you will compare, and here you see the second point, no new substance is found. So here, but here substance remains same, no any change in that. So here before breaking chalk, this is same substance. After breaking, here also you will say chalk, no any change in the composition, composition remains same. So this is the reason chalk, you will say this is the physical change. And also here no change in composition, these properties here exist in the chalk case. And another example, mixing of sugar in water. So mixing of sugar in water, this is also the example of physical change, because here no any change in the composition. And how can you justify? Because if you heat this solution, so water will escape in the gas, means in the water will change into the gaseous form, and these water molecules, gaseous molecules, escape from the utensil, and finally you will get the sugar particles in the solid state. So again you will get the substance that water change into the gaseous form, and this water again if you condense, then again you can get in the water form, and the sugar that again you will get in the original form, in the solid form. Same taste, no any change in that, no any change in the composition. So here we can say this is the example of physical change. Ringing a bell, this is the physical change, because no any change in composition, no any new substance developed. So this is also the example of physical change. Blowing a bulb, this is also the physical change, because no any change in composition, no any new substance formed, and this is temporary or reversible change. So these are the properties of the physical change, and many examples of the physical change. And after this, chemical change. So here chemical change property is totally different from the physical change properties. So here temporary or reversible change written. So for the chemical change you will write permanent. So permanent change. Or reversible change, irreversible change. The second property, new substance is formed. One or more new substance is formed. Change in composition. So these are the properties of the chemical change. And here first property we can see permanent change or irreversible change. Permanent change or irreversible change. So there are many examples of the chemical change. Means here we can take curd from milk. The changing of milk into the curd form. Curd from milk. This is the example. Second example here, digestion process. This is chemical change. Burning of paper, burning of the fuel. So these are the chemical change. So these are the example. Cooking of food. So chemical change. So these are the example. Photosynthesis process, chemical change. So these are the examples of the chemical change. And here we will compare, we will justify that example. This is physical change or chemical change. So here first of all, that if you take the curd from milk, this example. So curd from milk means milk change into the curd form. So this is the chemical change. Why? Because here permanent change or irreversible change means milk change into the curd form, but curd cannot be changed into the milk again. Milk change into the curd form, but curd cannot be changed into the milk again. This is permanent or irreversible change. So this is the reason we can say chemical change. Burning of paper, this is chemical change, because if you burn the paper will change into the change into the different forms, means carbon dioxide this release. Burning of the paper, this give carbon dioxide, water vapor, smoke, as heat and light, these changes occur. So in this way, burning of paper, this is the chemical change, because after burning this give the carbon dioxide gas as carbon dioxide, light, heat, these form water vapor and as form. So if you take total, so we can't get the paper again. So this change is irreversible, permanent change. And another example, burning of the fuel. So by burning of the fuel gives the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, many gases released. So in this case, if you take these gases, so we can't get the fuel again. If you are combining these gases, so we can't get fuel again in the original form. So this is the chemical change here, and after this new substance is formed. New substance. So if you burn the paper, so carbon dioxide gas release. Carbon dioxide, and after burning the paper will change into the S form. So here new substance form. So that's why here water vapor also develop. So here new substance is formed. Change in composition, of course here composition change, and composition change means we can say mass also will change. So here for understanding one reaction you can say, suppose that here magnesium, one chemical change example, magnesium react with the oxygen. This gives the magnesium oxide, and this is the balanced chemical equation. Magnesium react with the oxygen, magnesium oxide. And react with the oxygen means what is the meaning here? Magnesium burned in oxygen. Means if we burn the one strip of magnesium in air, in oxygen, so magnesium will burn by producing the white dazzling light. So magnesium burn in oxygen, and after burning this will produce the magnesium oxide. So in this way, if you see the magnesium mass here, so magnesium mass here, one atom of magnesium mass 24 AMU. We know that in the previous chapter I explained. So one atom of magnesium 24, and here 2 is written, means 2 into 24 we can write. And after this magnesium oxide, if you say, so magnesium one atom, that 24, and oxygen one atom 16 AMU, and here multiply by 2. So here we will get the magnesium mass here what? 48. Magnesium mass 48, and here we will get the total 80. So here you are burning the, if we burn the magnesium, so here magnesium mass 48 and here the magnesium oxide means new substance formed and the mass of this 80. So here mass change means we can say change in composition, and if the composition of the substance change, so it means that mass also will be changed. So here in the previous chapter I told that total mass of the reactant must be equal to the total mass of the product. According to the Anthony Lavoisier, that he stated that total mass means total mass of the reactant must be equal to the total mass of the product. He stated that mass can neither be created nor destroyed during the chemical reaction. So here also you will follow that magnesium, you are seeing one substance magnesium, you are burning the magnesium and magnesium change into the magnesium oxide form. So in this way residue material magnesium oxide. So here we are comparing between the magnesium and magnesium oxide. So here the change occur, means you are burning the, suppose that if we burn the magnesium, so here only we are seeing the magnesium substance, and after burning this change into the residue material, and this residue material is magnesium oxide. So here the change occur if you compare between the magnesium and magnesium oxide, means magnesium substance and residue if you compare. But here we are not considering the oxygen, because we are burning the magnesium where? We are burning the magnesium in oxygen, because oxygen, this is the gas, this oxygen gas is the supporter of combustion process. So here we are not considering the oxygen, only we are seeing the magnesium change into the residue material, that is magnesium oxide. So here you can see the change occur between the substance, the change occur, this is the chemical change. But if you take the total mass of the reactant, means also you will consider the oxygen gas you can't see, but you are burning the magnesium, means oxygen, only in the presence of oxygen the magnesium burn. So in this way if we count all the thing, magnesium burns in oxygen, this produce the magnesium oxide. So total mass of the reactant here must be equal to the total mass of the product. So don't confuse here that in the first chapter you have studied that law of conservation of mass. So here don't confuse, here I am explaining the chemical change and only I am explaining the substance change occur. So here if we burn the magnesium, so magnesium mass will change. What is the reason? Because magnesium change into the magnesium oxide. So here don't confuse, we are comparing the magnesium and magnesium oxide. But if you see accordance with the law of conservation of mass, so here total mass of the reactant must be equal to the total mass of the product. So you have to take the oxygen also according to the law of conservation of mass. And if we consider the material means magnesium and oxygen, then total mass of the reactant must be equal to the total mass of the product. Here no doubt. So here chemical change mass occur, and in this example if you compare magnesium and magnesium oxide, so here the mass occur, mass change occur. And according to the law of conservation of mass, means oxygen also you will consider. So total mass of the reactant must be equal to the total mass of the product. Next property, change in energy. So here in the chemical change, energy change. Here energy change. So energy absorbed or evolved, means absorption of energy takes place or evolution of energy takes place. Absorption of energy or evolution of energy takes place. So here chemical change takes place with the absorption of the heat energy. This is called endothermic reaction. when the chemical change takes place with the absorption of the heat energy, this is called endothermic reaction. And when the chemical change takes place with the evolution of the heat energy, this is called exothermic reaction or exothermic change. So here change in energy takes place in the chemical change. Change in energy takes place, and here change in energy takes place means we know that the reaction absorb heat energy means takes the reaction means our chemical change takes heat energy or light energy or sound energy. So here energy change occur. So here when the chemical change takes place with the chemical reaction or chemical change takes place with the absorption of the heat energy, so this reaction is called the endothermic reaction. And when the chemical change takes place with the evolution of heat energy, this is called exothermic reaction. So here one example of endothermic reaction we can see here. Endothermic reaction, calcium carbonate if you take and if you heat this substance giving the heat energy, so this calcium carbonate will change into the calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So here due to the absorption of the heat energy, this compound break down into the calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, break down into the two compounds calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So here absorption of energy takes place. So here this reaction proceed by the absorption of the heat energy. So this reaction is called the endothermic reaction. So the reaction takes place with the absorption of the heat energy. This is called endothermic reaction. So here this is example of endothermic reaction. Endothermic. And one more example here for the exothermic reaction we can see. So the chemical change or chemical reaction takes place with the evolution of heat energy. So this reaction is called the exothermic reaction. So here example, calcium oxide react with the water. So this will give calcium hydroxide, means also we can say lime water plus heat energy. So here this calcium oxide, this is called the quicklime, and if you dissolve, if you put the quicklime in the water, this is like stone like stone like structure, means easily you can purchase from the shop calcium oxide, and if you dissolve in the water, so here this gives the calcium hydroxide and much amount of the heat energy released in this reaction. So here this is the example of exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction. So this calcium hydroxide, this is called the lime water, and this is also used in whitewashing. And here calcium oxide react with the water, this change into the calcium hydroxide, and much amount of the heat energy released in this reaction. So here this is the example of exothermic reaction, and here this calcium carbonate absorb heat energy, and due to the absorption the substance break down into the calcium oxide, means quicklime, and carbon dioxide. So this is the example of endothermic reaction. So here chemical changes, many examples of chemical change you have seen. So here these are the example: digestion process, respiration process, and after this curd from milk, burning of paper, burning of fossil fuel. So these are the examples of the chemical change. So this topic completed. Thank you. Have a nice day.